Welcome to the FSBC Stuckey Library author interview. I was going to say artist interview then. Author interview with I Swear, who has said we can call her T, so that's what we will do. Thank you for taking a chance on us.
Thank you for having me. I'm really chuffed to have been asked, actually, so there you go.
Well, Jill and I will try not to fangirl too hard during this, so it may be a struggle, but we'll do our best.
Right. All good. All nerves out of the way. You know what, Maddie? Last time Maddie was right. We really do need to do this for tequila.
yeah. Is there alcohol in there? There may be vodka in here. I don't know.
I mean, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's got to be for you guys. It's not for me.
It's 8 p.m, so I think it's all right for us.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, if it's after 10, you're fine. Anyway.
Should we start with the first question?
We will start with the first question. When did you start writing?
Oh, God. I don't even know. I think I was probably about 12 or 13 writing rubbish things on Quizilla, which I'm aware shows you what sort of dinosaur I actually am. But no, my mum's actually got I remember hearing Maddie saying this actually, but my mum's got a book that I wrote. It was called like the Mallard Mysteries or something when I was about 8. So
oh, that's cute.
I have no idea what the quality of that was like, but I was really proud of it at the time. And I kind of hope I never see it again.
So
I'm assuming a lot more PG back then too.
What do you mean?
Hey, look, I recently had about 20 poems and short stories unearthed out of a time capsule from 20 years ago. So yeah, I handed them to my best friend to retype because they're really faded. I have not looked at them. I don't want to look at them. It's terrifying.
It's the cringe factor, isn't it?
Oh, it's
similar kind of thing, but not so much writing, more like design stuff. So like I'm a designer by trade, so I look at earlier stuff that I did and just cringe. So I think that's how I relate there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly like, oh, really?
I mean, I think it's also cool to see how far you've grown as well. So yeah,
for 12-year-old T did not do very well, let's be honest, but never mind.
Okay,
you're amazing now.
There's not many 12-year-olds who can do anything that you'll look back on in 20 years time and go, that was amazing. There's maybe 1 or 2 in the world, but there's 8 billion people in the world now, just about, so that's not a very high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the good news is that Quizilla as a website got shut down, so no one will ever have to see it.
Yeah, and GeoCities, when everyone had their own fan fiction websites and stuff like that, they're all gone, thank God. But
I remember those days.
So getting into fan fiction, what was your first fandom? Where did that start? What happened there?
Oh God, it's really funny because now I don't do RPF at all. You've probably noticed that I don't, Evan Stan is not my jam, and that's not a kink to my thing. Is I can't. But actually, it was Bandom that I was into first, and that was both RP, so written role playing, and fan fiction. I actually discovered that another rather well-known Stuckey writer and I had interacted and read each other's stuff. So,
how did you discover that connection?
We were talking on Discord. We're in a few sort of mutual servers and things like that, and then we were laughing about sort of first forays into writing, and it came up and we were like, oh God, oh wait, hang on. So yeah, there you go.
Could you recognize each other's writing style from back then, or has it just changed so much?
It's all changed, and yeah. We're both writing significantly more explicit material these days.
Which we're happy about.
So why Stuckey? What drew you to the Steve and Bucky pairing in particular?
Well, let's be honest, Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan are quite pretty.
That is very true.
That helps.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I'm sorry. I cannot cope with the way that the NCU went, shall we say.
Preach.
And the immediate thing I want to do when something like that happens is I want to fix it. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
so yeah, and then I discovered that actually it's a really active fandom, and it's just kind of all gone from there, really, you know.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people wanted to fix that ending, and I could write a thesis myself on everything that was wrong with it. So yeah, I'm glad there are fix out there.
I have never walked out of a cinema and felt quite that bummed, put it that way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Look, I'm very, very new in the grand scheme of things to this fandom. It was the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that actually kind of made me go, hang on, there's fan fiction about this. Like, I'm going to go and look it up. And then it was the Sam and Bucky pairing that sort of threw me back down the rabbit hole to the Steve and Bucky pairing. And I kind of went, oh my God, this is everything that was wrong with Endgame is now fixed, thanks to fans.
Mm.
And then, but the best bit that Endgame gave us was the multiverse.
Oh yeah, there is no egg game. Doesn't exist.
Yeah. That's a swear word around here. We don't use that word.
It is egg game.
All I can say
Yeah.
is by making the multiverse canon in the MCU, they have validated every work of fan fiction and fan art ever. Because if the multiverse exists, then every version exists.
Exactly.
So they did give us something good.
In my head, 99% of them, Steve and Bucky, end up together. So, you know.
Well, yeah. It makes way more sense than anything else.
Absolutely. So obviously Endgame, but where do you get your inspiration from?
Honestly, I'm a chronic daydreamer. I'm terrible. So actually the first thing I posted, doing it by myself, that was because I had read about 5 different fanfics that were along the same sort of premise, and you know, none of them were finished.
Oh.
Mental. So I thought I'd write one and finish it, and that's sort of where that started. But a lot of the time, actually, like I say, I'm in quite a few sort of Discord servers with other writers and artists, and we are one of the worst ones is Co. So shout out to Co for being a chronic enabler.
We're a big fan of Co too. We absolutely love her. Yeah,
Co's done some work for us, and and nothing as fancy as illustrating a story. Just literally because we've had group members' birthdays, and it's like, we're going to do something special. This is what they're into. Co, can you make us something for this?
No, she
filthier the better.
We'll put this. The thing is, we can end up talking about sort of a prompt idea within our servers, and you end up coming out with about 4 different or 5 different fics that are completely different because we all take it from sort of different ends.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a little thing coming up soon actually where it's essentially the same prompt with 4 different people writing it with a slightly different twist.
Ooh, are we getting exclusive news here? Is there
I can't say much more than that because a few of us are using them for bang ideas, but
I see.
I'm doing the AU of the AU's cousin, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm sort of going completely off the.
Wow, that's exciting. I have to look out for it.
Okay, so something similar has already happened recently, hasn't it? Because you did the Brooklyn Bakes, or there was a bakery one, but someone else had had the same prompt.
That was that was for the Shrinky Clinks reverse bang because everyone loves a bit of Skinny Steve, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was working with Kath Brit 99, and we've known each other for ages anyway. She actually won me in MTH last year. But yeah, basically Kath had done sort of like a bakery scene and everything, you know. And both me, there were less artists than there were writers. So me and Honey Trash had the same art to work with.
Yeah.
And we both knew it. We sort of just didn't talk about what we were doing. Then we sort of read each other's things, and they're so different, like painfully different, but in a good way, you know.
That's a good thing. Yeah, definitely. definitely.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we just very deliberately didn't talk about it until it was done, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to prove anything about me at all that I had notifications from both of you. So
Pretty big compliment, Jill.
Got to love an AA3 email, you know.
Oh God, yes, they're my favorite emails.
Exactly.
So
I have
You
an
go.
email address dedicated to AO3 notifications. Okay, like, and
Yeah,
yet
so
I
do
still
I.
don't have one for the library. But we're good.
Yeah,
We're getting
we
there.
might need to fix that. We might need to set up a URL as well. I can help you with that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I really need to get onto that. It's still got my old Facebook username in the website address.
We're in the baby stages. It's okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. So you've listed quite a few fanfic authors there. Are there? I mean, obviously those are guys that you admire a lot, but are there any fanfics, like authors, that come to mind that you really, really admire and love to read?
I really love the 1918s writing. Her stuff is some of my absolute, favorite. Thick Bucky Barnes as well. I like her stuff.
Yes.
Mhm.
I know she's having a bit of a hard time with things at the moment, so there's not quite so much coming there. But Becca Scene, I read a lot of her stuff, and obviously Hanny's, although a lot of us, because we're friends, we do each other's like beta reads. So
Yeah. That's really handy because I feel like back in live journal days, you kind of had to post ads for betas, but now you've got that little group going, so you can kind of
exactly. Actually, my main beta reader doesn't write herself. She's my actually my ex-housemate.
Oh, handy.
We lived together for years, and I make no secret in my sort of in my real life that I have this sort of whole fandom thing going on, and it just is,
So if you're already bouncing off each other with beta writing and stuff like that, do you or would you co-write a story, or have you co-written stories, or do you prefer once you've got your characters that they're yours?
There is a super secret project floating around.
Another exclusive.
That's currently sitting at about 60k. We've sort of lost the plot a bit.
Wow.
But so yes, there is a co-write going on there.
You can't tell us who your co-author is?
They'll kill me.
Okay.
Probably said too much. I'm in so much trouble. But there is a potential, it's gone on the Trello, so I think me and Hanny are looking at doing something probably towards the end of summer, because she wrote a fic where Bucky is a dancer, and actually I do ballet, and obviously that's why there's a little bit of that in my fics, and it tends to be a bit nerdy when I get into it, but we've sort of decided we're gonna look at doing something with that. So yeah,
amazing.
One of your dancer fics is, I think that's one's the shoemaker and one's the dancer teacher, and they hate each other, but they don't. That I fell in love with that story, genuinely. Like, that was so well done.
That was so self-indulgent.
You know what? It's the details, though. The fact that you're into it, it comes across in the words. Like, it's not just someone like me. I haven't danced since I was a kid, and if I tried to write something that was to do with dancing, it would come across, there would be no technical terms, there would be nothing in it, because I don't know anything about it. So when you write what you know, it comes across because you feel it.
I mean, that was just basically me going on a massive rant about point shoes, and anyone that knows me knows that I hate anybody going near my feet. So when I have to go and get new shoes fitted, which I hate, it is like an entire ordeal. Hate it.
So this was therapy for you, basically, writing the fic.
I will literally do anything. I mean, the current shoes that I personally wear are Grishko's, and obviously with everything going on in Russia, I may or may not have ordered an extra pair or two just in case I can't get the right ones in the future, because just so I can avoid going to the point shoe shop.
Yeah, no, that's a really good reason behind it. But
on that note, anybody who does dance, always get your shoes fitted by somebody. I only actually buy them online because that particular brand, size and width has been fitted to my feet anyway. So yeah, never buy your point shoes on like Amazon or anything like that if they've not been fitted by a professional, because you will damage your feet and legs.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I've always
say that as a safety thing, you know.
Yeah, I've always had the greatest respect for ballerinas and co, because it just looks like it's painful on the foot.
Selling it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous, but yeah, I don't have the patience. I did ballet for 3 years, I think, and they said, "Do you want to go on to point?" I went, "No, I'm out. Bye. See you later." That was it. That was the end of my dancing career.
I did jazz, and I perfected my jazz hands.
Nice. No, I've literally got a ballet bar behind me in my living room at the moment, so there you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I haven't taken it apart yet. That's what it is.
Where am I? I closed the wrong screen.
Well, I've got the next question, and it's one of my favorites. So, do you want to go, Jill? Have you got it?
Yes, I have got it. So, majority of your work is ABO. Is there any particular reason why, or is it just something that you just keep coming back to?
Look, I think anybody who's ever read any of my stuff knows that I do not shy away from writing MPreg, and a lot of that, I actually started with I didn't actually like the idea of ABO. I sort of started reading it because of the MPreg, and I think the 1918 is the same way. We both wanted more of it, and yeah, so that's sort of where it started. But actually, it's sort of because it is so fantastical, if you know what I mean, it's a very sort of safe way to explore different gender roles, and yeah, you know, and that's sort of what I enjoy. And I think because it is something that doesn't actually exist, you can kind of pretzel it. So, you know, I don't think any of my ABO verses have the same ABO rules, apart from the whole mating sense, you know, whatever. But you know, you can change it to work how you need it to for any particular scenario. So I guess that's sort of where it's at. And it's just that nice idea of the deep connection, you know, the whole soulmate thing. I think that's sort of what everyone's looking for. And, you know, I'm a sucker for romance. So
yeah.
I came for the gender roles. I stayed for the MPreg. So
the other way around to me, yeah.
Yeah. That was my thing.
You're actually...
There you go.
I was just going to say that Jill and I were talking earlier actually about your Majesty series and how you kind of put the gender roles on its head, I guess, in a way, because it's not what you would expect. You know, going into it, you would expect the king to be
the alpha,
but not the case. And I think I really admire that you're really challenging what you expect in an ABO.
That was meant, do you know, it's funny when I came up with the original concept for that, it was really meant to be sort of just a bit of a, I guess like a, you know, a fake dating, marriage of convenience comedy kind of thing. And I got to the end of Majestic and was like, I did, because that was written for Kath, because she got the winning bid on my Marvel Trumps Hate auction last year.
Oh.
And we sort of got to the end of Majestic and I was like, oh God, this isn't done. Like, yeah, this part of their story is done, but they had to move into the next, you know, and I sort of wanted to explore what the next bit would come out like. And so we got Majesty. And then I got to the end of that and was like, oh, Jesus.
It's not finished.
It's like a plot bunny. It just keeps reproducing.
Genuinely, like I could carry on with that verse forever, I think. But no.
We would be okay with that.
No.
I mean, there is sort of a half-baked idea that if I ever get round to it, I will do like a few scenes from their future, maybe, I think. But
Awesome.
yeah,
Oh,
we'll sort of see
please.
how I get on with that.
I'm pretty sure I think I actually yelled at you in the comments on one of those towards the end of the series because you left me on a cliffhanger and I didn't know what was going to come next, and they're like, no, it's going to have a happy ending. I'm like, you can't have a happy ending from what you've just given me.
Yeah, what have you done? Yeah.
Which
I
is
think that's
exactly
just
what you've
happened this
done with
week.
Lullabies, which I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but no, stop.
We can talk about it. I'm just not going to say anything. Next chapter tomorrow, everybody.
Oh, Jill's just shocked Pikachu face over there. I think she's excited.
We'll see if the timing works this time, because normally the updates from AO3 come through just as I'm about to leave for work in the morning. And I've got to drive an hour to get to work. So I'm sitting in the car for this entire time going, there it's waiting for me. It's a chapter waiting for me. And I'm not going to be the first one to read it. And everyone else is going to have left comments. And I want to do it.
No, that's so flattering. Oh my God. I'm never going to get out of my flat. My head's not going to fit through the door. But no, to be honest, it depends on what I'm doing in the evening. I mean, as to whether I post first thing in the morning before I go to work, or, you know, if I leave it before I get home. I don't queue my posts up because I've had a few disasters.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I literally ended up, actually that wasn't my fault. Okay, that was entirely on Kath, and she is still guilty about it, and it's really funny. But we accidentally ended up with a bit of a situation in which my Shrinky Clink's reverse bang got posted, and it was up for like 10 minutes before yeah. And I had to sort of delete the whole thing and start doing the formatting again. So
oh no.
Yeah, that was a bit annoying, but
Technology.
Yeah, never mind. It's fine. It got sorted and it went up at the right time in the end.
Awesome.
So what sort of, like, I'm assuming that you read as much fan fiction as you write. So I'm going to go down the path that, do you read the same tropes that you write, or do you go the complete opposite and read something that you don't write?
Not really. I do read a lot of the same sort of stuff that I write. If anyone's got any decent MPreg recs on that, by the way, feel free to put them my direction.
Hey, check out the library.
plug.
But yeah, no, I read a lot of MPreg, I read a lot of kid fic, and basically fluffy stuff. I know some people really like the angst.
Yeah. I'm an angst fiend. Yeah,
that's it, exactly. And I totally do you know, I admire people that are, but I sort of have it as my downtime and my relaxed time. So that's, you know, for me, I just want them to fall in love and be happy. I've only ever written one thing that did not have a happy ending. That was Co's fault as well. So actually, she knew nothing about it until it posted.
That would be the Peaches one, the Rockstar one.
Peaches, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I love my angst, but it has to have a happy ending. So I haven't read your Peaches fic. I will admit
that it's the best possible ending.
Okay.
Oh, it definitely is. It's realistic. It's
okay.
like,
yeah.
It has a huge amount of realism set to it.
All right, I'll read it. I didn't need much of a push, so.
I was going to say it's not an ABO fic, but it is a male preg fic. It's the Mission series by About a Moose. It is one of the best written of that trope that I've ever come across. It is amazing. So if you haven't checked that one out,
yeah.
Sorry. Where were we? Okay, now we've gone back off on a tangent. Right, when you write, do you write to an outline or do you wing it? And how strict are you to an outline?
Oh my God. Okay. So there are some people in this fandom, certain authors, like Becca Scene does these amazing outlines that are really detailed, you know, and she can accurately estimate the word count of each chapter. It, like, honestly, I've got so much respect for that, because I write an outline, We look at the outline a few times. We start writing. The boys start doing something completely different. Suddenly, my 10K is 60K. I'm down some weird rabbit hole. There's going to have to be a sequel, and it's all gone wrong. So, yeah, I'm a complete pantser. You know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. I admire that, because I think I'm more of like I need a list, and I need an outline, and I need, A to Z. I need that all plotted out. So I think people who can wing it are just magical creatures to me, because I just don't understand.
Genuinely, if I showed you there is an outline for doing it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one as well for It Just Makes Sense.
Okay.
And actually, that I will one day. I'll send you the outline for the Full Majesty series.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that.
It didn't happen.
Love it.
Yeah. It just went off on a complete. Yeah, I mean, actually, Lullaby wasn't meant to be what it is either. So there you go. I am just some sort of weird chaos. Apparently,
it works.
Look, Lullaby had me hooked from that scene with Sleeping Steve and the baby. I was just, that's it, I'm all in. That one point in the first chapter, I'm all in. I need this to be finished in my lifetime. Like it hooked me.
Usually before I'll even post anything, I've got most of it. I was probably about 30-40k in by the time I started posting that.
Yeah, right.
It's about 100 in total, just in case you're wondering. So it's a big old beast,
Awesome.
So does that mean then that comments and kudos and stuff aren't that important to your writing process? Like, I mean, obviously every author appreciates.
Do you really want to kick this hornet's nest? Because I have thoughts. Okay.
Oh, go.
And I've gone off on this a lot of times in different servers. So for everybody who's already heard my rant on this, I'm really sorry. Comments and kudos are so important. Okay, it's so like you're pouring your heart out. I mean, I'm actually a very fast writer. I can quite easily crack out 5k in a day if I'm in the right mindset for it. I've got that lovely ADHD hyper focus. So either I'm completely useless or I'm completely in. But no, we genuinely, comments and kudos, they make my heart happy. Okay, I love that little kudos email. I love every single comment, and it's why I sit there and I will happily answer them. And I also think, do you know what, like, especially when you first start posting, I was such a nervy noodle on that, like, and if I hadn't been getting that feedback from the people that sort of took a chance on me and whatever, I don't know that I'd be still posting now. Because you do put so much into it, and it's just nice to have that validation, I guess. Actually, if I'm reading a fic, I will comment on every goddamn chapter. I am really annoying with it. Even if it's fully posted, I will not read all. Like, I don't open the whole thing. Like some people do the show. It's not broken into chapters.
Yeah,
not the click-throughs. Yeah, it affects the click-through.
Yeah, true.
And we all say we don't, but we're all kind of obsessed with our stats a little bit. I couldn't actually tell you what mine are. I try not to open them, but no, it's so important. And I think especially with new people coming into the fandom, do you know what? Leave a comment. There's one person, and I don't think they realize they're quite as they are famous amongst the authors. It's I Love Snakes.
Okay.
And they leave comments that are just purple hearts most of the time. If you get a sentence, but do you know what? We don't, we love that. And my other little rant, actually, while I'm on this tangent, is about people who do not read work in progresses. And I understand why. I've been burned. As I said, I've written fics because I needed that explored and finished, because there are just genuinely, new writers, we're posting work in progresses all the time. And I just think it's really important to support those people and give it a go and comment on as you go through and everything. I've gone off on this massively several times. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And I think any kind of artist thrives on feedback. I think, a lot of the time it's nice to know that people appreciate what you're doing and putting so much of your own effort into. So my question was going to be also like, is there specific comments that you really like if someone quotes parts of your fic, or if people are all caps like Jill, or
I will honestly take anything. Genuinely. I totally thrive on it. I love it. I love talking about my work, but you can probably tell, and it's because it is something that we all do as kind of a passion project, I guess, because we don't get paid for this.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, you're not getting paid, so you get paid in kindness, i.e. comments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I write because I want to, but it's nice to know other people are enjoying it.
Absolutely.
So I know there's some people who are pantsers, who are writing things, and the comments change the direction of their stories and stuff like that. Do you take that into account? Do comments change the trajectory of your stories, or is it sort of already written past that point?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes, actually most of the time, like I say, I am quite ahead of myself. I mean, I work a full-time job, so I have to kind of be ahead to make sure that those updates come regularly. So yeah, normally I'm sort of written past that point anyway, but sometimes someone comments with something, I'm like, damn it, I've really missed an opportunity here. But
you have like a schedule that you kind of follow in terms of your writing too, like, I want to have this posted by this date, or do you just kind of pants that as well,
Yeah, I mean, the only time I really play to any sort of deadline is when I'm doing bangs, and I had a little mini meltdown yesterday because I suddenly realised that the Shrunky Conks bang check-in was due.
Oh no.
Did I have anything? No, I didn't.
So do you deal with writer's block very often then, or is it because of how you've got yourself set up with your writing style that you can work through it?
Sometimes that happens. But yeah, I try and like push through, or I just go and have a little chat with one of my little righty buddies, and usually we can sort of brainstorm our way through it, or I just let someone read it. Like, a lot of us do cheer reading as well.
Oh, nice.
Sign me up.
So
yeah, exactly.
Genuinely, I've really struggled with my I've just finished my Silver Fox Steve bang fic.
Oh,
which I can't wait for the record.
There was a point where I really struggled with it, because actually one of the people that I regularly use as a cheerleader is one of the artists, and I can't show her, and it really annoys me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, feel free to use the FSBC, because we will cheer all day long.
Anything.
Yeah.
Rightio. So we are getting down to the pointy end of the
stick. I can see the little timer, yeah.
What of your own work, what is your favorite? And I know this is a hard question, like saying what's your favorite child, but if you had to pick one of your own pieces of work, what would it be? Existing ones. Keep it fair to us.
Yeah.
It's the one that I'm not allowed to know. No, I think if we're going to go for one shots, it will be Wear Your Scars Like Wings, which I wrote for the lovely Elle's birthday last year, so that's a year old now. That was her birthday yesterday. And if I was going to go for one of the longer ones, to be honest with you, it's probably going to have to be the Majesty series, just because it took so much of my life last year. I pretty much lived in that little world for an entire year, so there you go.
Yeah. I'm actually reading at the moment Where Is Your Boy Tonight? And I'm absolutely loving that. Yeah, well, yeah, and I saw the tags and I was just like, oh, sign me up.
Yeah.
So that's my personal favorite, if I had to pick a favorite of yours, because I'm just adoring that at the moment. So
I'm looking for you in the comments now.
Yeah. I'll get to the end and I'll comment in all caps. I'll do a Jill.
Jill's the Pirate Storm. So anyone,
yes,
any random pop up from the Pirate Storm.
I'm Katie Kate, I think, which is so original.
The last question I've got, of the entire fandom, whether it's written work, whether it's fan art, whether it's videos, whatever, what is your absolute favorite piece of work?
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to be really boring. And it's probably the Pin-Up Chemists with Who I Used to Be. I think that's the name of it. Or What I Used to Be. That's the one.
Yes.
Have we read that?
That was the group one that we were going to read. It's the I'm sure it's the one with it's the ABO. It's Bucky was kidnapped as a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
he's broken
Right up
out
your
and he's got 3
street.
kids to Alexander
Yes.
Pierce and Steve.
Yes. Yes.
His support alpha.
Oh, I'm
read
terrible with
that.
names. So
It got taken down the other day, and I literally had like a meltdown and had to go and find a copy.
oh my gosh, is it back? Oh,
It's back at
Okay.
basically because the Pin-Up Chemist actually is a published author now, I understand, and they put something
I
on
know,
their AO3, of course.
They've actually got quite a few works that they've kind of abandoned, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. I get it. I understand why. But I keep going back and I'm like, you've edited to say that you're now an author. Give me some more. But
that fic I think I've read multiple times, which is why it's hilarious. I didn't actually know the name off by heart. But yeah, no, the pups in that are just, they're such fully fleshed characters, and I almost didn't give it a chance because I thought it might get a little bit, too non-conning for me. Yeah. But it actually, I thought it was handled beautifully. So I completely
the first
agree.
time I read that, there were actual tears, it's
Yeah.
one of those. But yeah, I probably read that about once every 2 or 3 months, whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it handles the PTSD aspect so well and so carefully.
It doesn't dwell on any particular point to the extent that the reader is sick of it. It follows through, it flows, and there is character growth and there is all of that. So
absolutely. So it's a good pick.
Brilliant.
Like I say, I know it's a classic, but
But seriously, thank you so much for letting us chat your ear off.
No, it's been lovely.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, thank you for dealing with our fangirling.
Thank you for fangirling.
And look out for me in the comments. I'll be in all caps. When I finish Where Is Your Boy Tonight, I'll be in all
look forward
caps.
to it. I look forward to getting an email.
It's all good. I'm just gonna be holding on to the next installment of Lullaby. Okay, that's my thing. It's what I'm holding out for.
Yeah, I think we've got 3 weeks left on that one. So
you have left me with the worst cliffhanger. Honestly,
I've
had so much hate about that, and I've
feasting on their tears. Your tears sustain me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
awesome. Well, thank you again. Yes.
No, thank you so much. See you soon.
Enjoy the rest of your holiday, and we'll talk again.
Yeah, see you soon. I'd love to. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Mwah. Whoops. Stop.